let's talk about 1, 2, 3-point lighting. Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Tobias Mugg from Lit Video Productions. We make epic videos for epic companies, and today I want to go back to the basics and let's talk about 1, 2, 3-point lighting. Yes, that's right. This is kind of one of those things that just everybody needs to start with, and the main point of 3-point lighting, I can't just stand in that one place. I got to move around a bit. The main point of 3-point lighting is to create a 3-dimensional look in a 2-dimensional space. At the end of the day, it's to fool the viewer's eye into thinking they're seeing depth. That's why we do 3-point lighting. That's why we start with 3-point lighting. And once you kind of understand that concept, that's when you start breaking the rules or understanding what's playing into the different aspects of the rules, as it were. So let's go ahead and start off. Today, what my setup I'm going to use is a Arri 650, an Arri 300, and an Arri 150. Now, I'm not going to use any gels. I'm not going to use any diffusion or anything like that. This is just hard, direct light on the subjects. I have all of them fully flooded out. Let me flood it out. Oops, there it is. It's flooded out. They're all flooded out except for my backlight. I believe that might be spotted down. It's flooded out. So everything's flooded out at this point. So 3-point lighting, what does that mean? Let's start off. Here are your main terms: your key light, your fill light, and your backlight. Now, your key light. What is your key light? That is your main light source that is lighting your subject. Right now, my key light is right over here. That is lighting me. That would be my key light. Your fill light is the light that does just that. It fills in your subject. And then you have a backlight, also known as a hair light. It really depends on what you're lighting and everything. There's different terms for it. Scratch light as well. And that's lighting your subject, but what it's doing is it's giving you a rim that's going to give you some depth to your image. Think about an artist, how they paint a portrait. You got to look at like the classics, go to just an art gallery and look at portraits, look at the way people are painted, how they're filled in, Rembrandt style. This is Rembrandt lighting right now. We're going to do the standard Rembrandt style layout as well on our subjects today. I don't have anybody with me, but we're going to go ahead and just put some different objects in there just so you can kind of see what's happening. And I'm going to play with the lights once we've gone over the basics. So to start off, we have our setup behind us. Like I said, we have the Arri 650, we have the Arri 300, we have the Arri 150. I'm lighting myself right now with just a KinoFlow Barfly, just so I have at least some kind of light source while I was standing up here, but it's not going to spill so much over there. I do have one overhead as well. You can see right there, it's giving me a kick. It's, once again, just kind of giving me the lights a little more depth. I'm going to shoot HD on the XC10 down here, and then I've got a monitor set up so that when I'm moving lights around and stuff, I can see what's going on. I also have on my monitor, I've set my exposure to the standard depth, whatever, not standard def, to the standard gamma, and then I dropped it into cinema, and I'm looking at the waveform, not my waveform, my false color, and that's how I know what I'm hitting on the subject. So, starting off with our strongest light, our key light, here it is. If we look on our subject, and I'm lighting everything where it's literally, my key light will be over here, fill light's over here, backlight's here. This is just a standard setup. Normally, you would not want a light stand in your shot, but this is just to show you, and then I'll show you how you can do it without, if you don't have a boom arm, how you can put the light back here. So we'll go over that in a minute, but this is just fundamentals of this. So right now we have what's called a Rembrandt. When they call it a Rembrandt because of what it does to the nose right here, it makes a little triangle from the shadow. I mean, this is pretty much your standard, textbook 3-point lighting. As we bring our fill light in, now remind you, that's 650 watts. This is 300 watts. They're about the same distance, and you'll see it's just adding enough light as I flag through it to fill in our subject. It's not taking over the key light. Let me kill the fill. Let me kill the key. And you can see that drop, that power drop. Now, you can see there's probably a lot of shadows going on and all this little texture stuff, some cross shadows. Where there's light, there's shadows. You're going to get that. Normally this stuff would be softened, diffused, all this other stuff. So like I said, this is just a raw shot at everything. And then we'll add our backlight, which is going to add our little bit of depth. It's very subtle, but we'll add our backlight. It's honestly, I feel a little underpowered for what we're doing with the front lights. Normally that would be a lot more diffused, but just using this kit as is, that's what's going on. So let's kill everything except for our backlight. This is where I think we have the most fun with everything. I'm going to take my gloves on, put my gloves on, take my gloves on, yeah. Now, as this Arri kit is all tungsten, everything's hot, so I'm going to put my gloves on to work with it. But as you can see, this is our light directly behind them. So this would be a hair light. Let's just move our stand out of my way. This would be a hair light right now because it's hitting your hair area. But let's just see what it looks like as I move our hair light to a little more of a side light. Now, it's still a backlight, but notice what it's doing to our subject. It's starting to fill them in a little bit. So that's where you're starting to get in what's called a scratch light. Truly, a scratch light is where we come from this angle. And you can see the difference in that look overhead to a scratch light. Big difference in our subject. Now we're losing our orange over there. I would have to bring the light back or give the orange its own light, or we move it forward a bit, or we need a bigger source because this is a small source. But let's just move our backlight around a little more. As we come around here, you can see what's going on. Now you see how the light, I can get this one small enough, I can get it right behind our subject. We can even do a backlight from right there. Now you see how it's hitting everything? Because you got to just think, where's your source of light coming from? Is what's going to make a difference. Now you can have a practical in shot, you know, anything that's a light or anything like that, and you're going to scratch. We're getting this nice scratch along the surface. I can fill all that in. You can still get that out of shot. If we get the angle right, I'm running out of space here. It's a matter of depth. But I think understanding your backlight is a huge thing because that's what's giving you that kiss on their shoulder. That's what's giving you that look on the shoulder. So let me go ahead. I'm going to leave this backlight over here on the side because I think it looks a little more interesting. We'll focus it down a bit. And it's hitting our camera, so let me get it off of the camera. There we go. Flag it. So I'm not hitting the lens anymore. And now let's see what it looks like. Let's bring on our key light. Our key in our back. It looks nice. I mean, to me, that's pretty much finished. So that's still a 3-point look using 2 lights because of this little bit of scratch that we're getting on the side right here. Now, if you wanted a little more fill in this situation, that's where you would just bust out a bounce card and fill them in. Without, with. So that's 3 points now because we still have the key light over there. I'm holding the fill light and your backlight. Now, the other good thing about doing this type of thing is it frees up another light in our kit to light our background. So let's go ahead and I'm going to hit the background with this. Let's get the key light off of the background. There we go. We'll just shutter that off. I can see I'm still hitting my subject right here. No, he's actually, just give him a hair more. That looks good. Boom. So yeah, so now I'm still getting a 3-point look using 2 lights, and if I needed to, like I said, we can just add this bit of fill card right here. And we can either just clamp it on, use another stand, find a chair, put it on it, whatever you need to do. But yeah, so still using 3-point lights. So we're using our 3 lights now. I got this one on our set piece. We can, actually I could probably get away with hiding it behind the table. Can I get it low enough? Let's see. No, nah, I can't. Because sometimes I'll hide them on the ground and we can just hit it directly on our backdrop like so. But I think in this case we're going to go ahead and just do it like that. That looks pretty good. It might actually need more of a fill. And you got to find where's your, so let's open that up to give me some fill like to work with. It kind of needs more of a fill underneath. Let's do this. Let's bring our backlight down. Let's go real scratch with it. Get that out of the way. Let me show you guys as I bring it down. So we were there. Let's bring our backlight down. Let's go a little more scratch. Now, if you pay attention to what the Apple did, then we can just see what we're doing. Let's just kill the light. Let's bring it on. So it actually looks like get a little more cat corner with it. That's looking pretty good right there. And then I would just bring in a fill just so that we can I might need one more light hitting on this. Boom. Make sure it's out of shot. But yeah, so there we go. We still got a 3-point light look. We're using basically the 2 lights to light our subject. All right, so I went back to the original setup that we had so that you all can just kind of see. I have my key light over here. That's the 650. I have the 300 right over here, and then I've got the 150 directly behind me as a hair light. You can see as I mess with it what it's doing to the top of my head. Actually, the placement of it's pretty good right there. So that light kind of needs to be a little more, like right there is really good. A little further back than we need. And honestly, this is not a very flattering look for anybody, but this is just so you can see what each light is doing. Normally we would have a lot of diffusion, like this one would be a lot softer, but I figured I'd show you a hard light just so you can kind of see what each light is doing in conjunction with each other. So let's just kill this fill. And you can see what the key light is doing to me right now. And honestly, normally this is why I do a single key light, and then I might have a backlight, or I really enjoy putting a scratch light on somebody. You can see as I get right into there, I get more of a scratch. Let's just do that real quick. Something more like that. That's a scratch light that I would do on somebody. Sorry, I keep looking down here. I should be looking up there. I should be looking there. I got 2 cameras to look at. I don't know which one to look at. I'm pretty sure I'm blown out on that one over there. But if I look at this one, you can see if you were in an interview, they're looking at your producer over here, asking the questions. They're talking. Your key light now is coming directly on them, so your shadow are dropping below. You see where my next shadow is because I'm looking directly into the key light. Meanwhile, if I'm over here, it's a little more moodier. We can go reverse key. So my key light's still over here, but I'm looking off into it. And now this is my backlight / fill light. And you could still give them another backlight from over here, and it would give them a rim on this side. I mean, there's different ways you can go about it. There's not like one way to skin a cat, or however the saying is. Whew, I'm in the hot seat right now. I don't know. I'm definitely glistening. You can see it. That's, man, 650, 150. That's enough wattage. And then let's kill the key and just go to our backlight. And you can see, let me get actually a little more behind me. I want a little more rim. There we go. That's a good rim. There. And then let's just bring in our key. Boom. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. I mean, the light's still up in the shot right there. I would normally be able to fix all that, but this is kind of normally where I would be. Obviously, that light would be a lot softer, so I wouldn't get all this super Rembrandt-y look, which we can probably get rid of by bringing that light in. That one's still just a little too close. These scrims are not going to fit into that one, but it's, you know, a little harder. This is going back to the basics of lighting, like I said. And the reason I want to do this, once again, with no diffusion or anything else, is just so you can see what's going on with the lighting and what, you know. So I hope that my look at 3-point lighting has shed some more light on the situation for you, and maybe has opened you up to just some different thoughts to go about it. I know I'm a mess as I go through this video, but it's such a basic thing that I feel like I can explain it pretty quick. Key light, fill light, backlight, and the rest is just up to you. All right, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, everybody have a fantastic week. May your week be epic. No, let's try it again. Scratch that. One more time. Until next time, everybody have a fantastic day. My name's Tobias Mugg from Lit Video Productions. We make epic videos for epic companies. Have a fantastic day, and I'm repeating myself so many times. Peace.